Yo, it's your boy Ringo TV Reactions. We back again with another one. Justice for Shanquella. The family pretty much had a news conference, and I want to pretty much examine that video, share my commentary and criticism about what's going on. So we're going to get right into that in a few. So far, no arrest, nothing has happened yet. Nobody has been brought to justice. And as you know, with all the recent controversy on social media with bloggers spreading misinformation and lies, there's still no arrest. So a lot of people been lied to on social media, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people do this, but that's what social media is about. A lot of people that are online, they really don't even supposed to be online. It's just people seem to support garbage, and the people that are actually sincere, they don't really get the love that they deserve. So we're gonna look at this tape. I don't want to waste no more time. Take a look at what the family is talking about. They had a little conference outside. The mom was there, and I'm gonna be watching it with you. I only watched a clip, and I'm gonna break this thing down and see what's going on, because it's real difficult right now. Everybody's saying they want justice. I get it. At the same time, things got to be proven, and that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. You have to have a case on people. You have to have a case, and you have to have a lot of evidence to prove who did what during the timeline of events. And although we may have the videotape of Shanquella getting attacked, yes, we have that. But how do you tie that to all 6 parties and say, okay, we're gonna charge all of you with murder? How do you put that together? That's the part that a lot of folks don't understand. It's easy to say, hey, I want all of them arrested and thrown away. I'm pretty sure that's what everybody wants. But there's still a due process, and that's the part that is very tricky. In a case like this, the only way Dejanay would be charged with murder and serve time is if the other parties rat her out. I said this in a live stream, and people keep getting upset with me, and I'm like, you're getting upset with the wrong person. You have to have the facts, and you have to have people that are witnesses that are willing to point the finger and say, yes, Dejanay was fighting her. During the fight, she broke her neck, broke her spine. You need that. So I feel, and I talked about this before, I feel that the Mexican government, they already messed up by letting everybody go home. So they're trying to clean this up. It's taking too long. Like right now, the justice for Shanquella has been taking too long. Too long. They playing a lot of games with this one. It's sad that it's taken this long to just get down to business and do what they got to do. But let me get this video queued up, because you want to hear what they got to say. Kind of break this thing down a little bit. Let me turn up the volume. How everybody doing out there? Everybody good? It's just sad, man, how all these YouTubers got away with highway robbery, man. You know what I mean? If you've been following my streams, you heard me call out that Greed attorney for his involvement in claiming that, you know, Dejanay was arrested and basically bamboozled the people. You know what I mean? That was bad foul, man. And how everybody did the same thing. All these content creators did the same thing. I hope the viewer learn a valuable lesson on who to view and who not to view. Because a lot of people be out here every single day. They got a new Shanquella video. I mean, every day. I'm talking about 3 times a day, a new video, a new update, shocking new info, serious new details. Stay away from those kind of channels, man. Stay away from those kind of channels that do that. I mean, if your title have to say shocking new details in the Shanquella case, you're lying already. Because ain't nothing shocking. She's already dead. So there's nothing else to be shocked by. Too much thirst in these spaces, man. Let's just focus on the facts. When the news brings something out, then we could talk about it. We could make a video about it. You know? Let me raise this volume up. Let's get into this thing, break this thing down, hear what they got to say.
You know, as a native of Charlotte, born and raised, and the community wanted, you know, for this family. There were thousands of people that didn't make it into the services a couple of weeks ago. So this is the opportunity to come and show their support with the Robinson family again, and to love on them and basically let them know that we stand with them. And it's justice for Shanquella Robinson until justice is served.
So I guess they want everybody that wasn't able to attend, I guess, the funeral, that they're doing something else to, I guess, get people to stand with them for the proper justice, you know, on what they need. I mean, all 6 of those folks have to pay for something. They got to pay for something. All of them. Ain't no doubt about that. So don't get it misconstrued like I'm saying, you know, that I don't want, you know, no justice or whatever the case is. Because a lot of people, man, they be getting mad at the messenger and they don't want to use their brain to consider that there is such thing as due process. You know, all 6 of them must be brought up on some sort of charge, especially for lying to the mom, you know, to lie and say that Shanquella died of alcohol poisoning when the medical, I mean, not the medical, but the death certificate pretty much says otherwise. That right there is what was the red flag for the mom and dad to say, wait a minute, something ain't right. Something is not right. There's no way. How she died of alcohol poisoning, all of y'all home, y'all good, but y'all left her over there? So y'all didn't stay? Like, y'all just left? You know? So surely they got to pay for something, but how do you get that process to begin? Because it's taking too long. And see, this is what I mean about justice. A lot of people don't understand that justice is not going to come if everybody is quiet. If Shanquella's mom and dad are just there hoping and praying and the people are not making noise, nothing is going to happen. Nothing. I mean, it's just like the situation with Takeoff. Same situation. If people are not on the case making noise on social media, getting the people to think, then nothing is going to happen. They'll just brush it under the rug. You know, no one has been arrested yet. Everybody that was involved is out there living their life, having a good time. Holiday season, you know what I'm saying? They with their families doing whatever they do, and Shanquella's dead. Do you think any one of them reached out to the mom and said, hey, mom, how you doing? My condolences. I'm sorry for what happened. I'm working with the authorities. I turned myself in. You think anybody did that? Nope. None of them did that because they're guilty. But how do you get the charges put on them? That is where the Mexican government is going to have to take over and deal with that, because the U.S. government hands is tied. You have to understand how complicated the situation is. It's a complicated situation. It was done in Mexico, right? It was done over there. So they're the ones that's going to have to apply pressure. That's the only way, right? Let's get back into this.
First and foremost, it helps to begin the healing process for not only the Robinson family, but the community, the nation. You know, this is a story that touched the world, unfortunately, and with the national attention that it has gotten, hosting the event was important to us to ensure that her name stay alive. You know,
and that's very important. Her name have to stay alive. If you stop talking about Shanquella, it's gonna die out. But now here's the problem with that. We want her name to remain alive, and we want justice. At the same time, who are the people that are keeping her name alive? And are those people sincere in what they're doing? Because again, there's a lot of people on social media right now that are making videos about Shanquella every single day, spreading disinformation. Now, of course, it's simultaneously keeping her name alive, but they're not really sincere. They're just making up stories. Shocking new evidence that proves Dejanay was there, and they'll have a whole 3 hours of them just rambling, never delivering on what the title of the video says, wasting your time, and then you walk away more confused because all they did is made you believe a lie. Just like the other day when the greed attorney spread disinformation and it made the whole internet start lying. You don't think that affected the mom? You don't think that affected the dad? That's why I stayed out of that. That's why I don't make videos about Shanquella unless it's necessary. What's the point of just making up lies every day just to get you to click? There's many other people that's dying. There's many other people that, you know, a story can be talked about. But there are people, man, that are literally milking Shanquella 24/7. There's people that are milking takeoff situation. I'm talking about every day. There's a new video, the new update. Be careful with that type of stuff. There are no updates. There are none. And the sad part about it is a lot of people, because they have been listening to lies for so long, it's like YouTubers could be lying to you right in your face and you believe it because you just want something to hear. So you really don't care if it's true or false. Hey, as long as you're talking about it, right? That's crazy. I would not be sitting here wasting my time talking to you just to lie, to waste my time. And then you do a Google search and find out that I was lying the whole time. Now my credibility is down the drain. Nah, I can't afford to do that.
During, we all saying justice for Shanquella, but it's the days after, days like Saturday, the days after that the family need that extra boost and that extra support. So again, it was something that was important to me, and I had a lot of people reaching out to me asking, what are y'all going to do? And out of respect of the family, I didn't want to do nothing prior to them laying her to rest. And you know, during that week leading to her services, the world was right there at them. So I wanted to be respectful. And you know, I made contact with mom after the services, and you know, we talked and we came up with the date, and here we are.
Now, I don't know who this brother is. I don't know, but it appears as though he been working with the family to make sure that they good, making sure that things get done. So you got to commend people like that actually step up. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to say you want justice and you want this, and it's another thing to actually step up to the plate and use your voice and your time as a sacrifice for another person's situation. Because again, without the support of the people, the mother and father won't get no justice. I'm serious. It's just like every other day somebody dies and their family is mourning and they never get justice. Police don't care. No one cares. But when you have people that understand how to move and shake through this life, they can get the word out there. So it's a good thing that Shanquella's name is being talked about all over social media. At the same time, it's a sad situation when people are exploiting her death, exploiting her name, and they really aren't sincere. You understand what I'm saying? It's like they'll go and make a 5-hour video, right? And in the process, make about $10,000 and really didn't offer nothing to the family after that. Or they didn't give no real information. They wasted 5 hours now. But the thing is, they got paid. So in all actuality, they really didn't waste no time. You actually waste your time. And there's people that do this every day. You understand? They do this all the time. And now the people that actually are sincere, that actually make a video and actually share their thoughts, those people get thrown into the same pot. I get people, they send me messages all the time, and they say, why you are hating on Shanquella. And I'm like, what? Why you're making money off Shanquella? And they throw me into the same pot. And that's not cool. It's just like people are getting mad with me because I make videos regarding the takeoff situation. Some of the best commentary videos you will find on YouTube is right on this channel. The best. And people get mad because the way I speak, I break down the stories and make sense of it. You understand? No one else is looking for justice for Takeoff or Shanquella. A lot of people really don't care. It's just like a lot of the news stations. When you see them make the news and they put the news out there, a lot of times it's not because they care about Shanquella. It's because they could just make a video, and because it's a popular story, it could be monetized. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there's nothing wrong with making money, but the problem is, are these news outlets really spreading the news because they care about the story, or because they know it's a hot topic that can make them a profit? Think about that. For example, let me show you how serious this is. The other day, right, I did a video about Shanquella, right? I used a news story. Now, keep in mind, the news media live by the fair use doctrine. In other words, the news media use copywritten material all the time. They use everybody's photos, videos, audio, everything, right? I used a news story that was talking about Shanquella. And guess what happened? I received a content ID copyright. Now, it's not a legitimate copyright claim, but it was a content ID match, which means what this particular news company essentially did was they have something within the YouTube system that if anybody was to use their video, it automatically get the monetization, right, off the video so they can take the profit. I think I need for you to understand how serious this is, because again, a lot of these news stations, they really don't care about Shanquella. I'm just letting you know. They really don't. Now, let me break down what I just said in layman's terms, in case you don't understand how it works with YouTube, right? Now, let's say, for example, I did a video about Shanquella and it got 15,000 views, right? Well, in dollar amount, it makes a profit if I have monetization. So what this news company did, they had a content ID. Now, keep in mind now, the video been up for a whole month. No problems, no issues, everything is good. But then all of a sudden, I get a notification from YouTube saying that a copyright owner is saying that your video, blah, 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 it has content owned by some company. So when I check, it's a news company. And I'm saying to myself, first of all, you don't own Shanquella, number one. You don't own her, right? The news clip was like 5 minutes. My video was like damn near almost 2 hours. But what YouTube does is they'll leave your video up, but you're unable to monetize. And what happens is any monetization you get off that video, it goes automatically to the news company. Could you believe that? You see that? Now, there's two ways you can deal with situations like that. You can dispute that claim under the fair use doctrine, which you should, which will put the monetization in escrow, which means they'll just kind of pause it. It'll continue to build up, but they won't get $1. And then once 30 days pass and they don't respond, then YouTube will pretty much put your video back where it needs to be and everything will go on to plan. But my point that I'm saying is that the news companies are not really concerned with Shanquella. Their goal is monetization. So if you're a YouTuber and you use a news story, what these news companies are doing now, based on my own experience, is when they see that their news story is being used by multiple people, they put a content ID on it so that anybody that's using it, they can now get money from every one of these content creators. You see how that works? So really, they don't really care about Shanquella. They care about getting money. And the thing is, remember what I told you, fair use. Anybody could use a news clip in their videos. The news is the news, period. Nobody can say, oh, I can't use that. It's copywritten material. No. Fair use allows you to use any clip, any video, as long as you're sharing commentary and criticism. You have to be speaking, you have to be audible in your videos, right? You can't just take the news clip and just throw it up on your page. You got to have something in it, you know? So the truth of the matter is, a lot of news outlets are not really sincere when it comes to sharing the stories. They only do it because it gets the numbers. That's it. So in order for Shanquella to get some real coverage, right, it's going to take commentators that are sincere, that you can feel their energy because they're actually speaking from the heart. Number one, they're being transparent because I don't have to explain all of these things, but I'm explaining them so that you, the viewer, can understand. Right? So this particular guy that's on the screen, he's working with the family to make sure that they can organize whatever it is they're doing, which is a good thing. But you need more people like that that are in her city. Right? And as long as everybody's doing their part, you're keeping Shanquella's name alive. You understand that? But now, again, you have other people that are out here that they're the sharks. They're the vultures. They're the ones that are consuming Shanquella's name for their own personal gain. And they do this all the time. They do this with Takeoff. They do this with Shanquella. And it's really disgusting. I'm talking about people are making video after video after video after video, and they have nothing to say. They're not making any sense. You're not learning nothing. You haven't gained any understanding about nothing. They just keep regurgitating the same info that we heard last month. I was watching a video this morning, and it was about the rapper Takeoff. Somebody got on and said, like, their title. When I tell you, man, some of these people are evil. A lot of these people that have microphones are evil people. The person titled their video something along the lines of Jay Prince arrested, Takeoff, murderer. The second one is caught. We have him on tape. And then when you click the video and there's nothing there. No information, nothing. Why do people do this? Money. They clickbait you all day. And that is exactly what the greed attorney did the other week, where he made it very clear that Dejanay Jackson was arrested. And I don't know if he issued a public apology. I don't expect him to. But at the same time, that just goes to show the lengths of what people would go to just to get a view. And it definitely affected him. It definitely did. Once the word got around, now again, word would have never got around if people like me were not making noise about it. You understand? Because I used the platform to speak out against the lies. That is what basically got the people to wake up and realize that something wasn't right. You understand? So now what if I wasn't like that? What if I would have said, you know what? Hey, since he's doing it, might as well I join the party. Now we would have all been guilty. And then later on, you would have found out that nobody was arrested. And you would have been looking at me sideways like, damn, Ringo, I would expect better out of you. This is why you have to be very careful with what you put out there.
And you said it starts at 4.
It starts at 4 p.m. Originally it was 3, but we pushed it back to 4.
Why do you think so many people resonated with Shanquella's story? And obviously it went all across the world, everybody talked about it. What about her do you think just resonated, that people just drew to her and thought of her like as a sister?
As things unfolded that week, we all saw it. One, it was a slap in the face to the family. The way everything was unfolded, the lies. And I think that was a big piece of it for them to lie like that to her mother, her family. It touched a lot of people's hearts. And
that's right. They lied to the family. That is how you know that something happened and they were involved. So it's up to the Mexican government now to take all of the facts and put it together. Where did they get this story of, oh, she died of alcohol poisoning? Where did they get that story from? Because it didn't come from no hospital records, no medical records. It didn't come from no autopsy of anything. It didn't come from anything. So where did they get that from? That was their alibi. That was, oh, well, she died of alcohol poisoning. Hey, I don't know what happened. Good thing the mom and dad have, the ability to recognize when something is not right, especially when you know your daughter. You understand? They know their daughter. It's something about a parent. A parent knows their kid. Any one of you that have kids, you know your child. Whether your child is small, whether they are a teenager or a young adult, or even a grown adult, you know them. You know what they do, what they don't like, what they like, where they go, where they hang out. You know what they do. So the mom knew and the dad knew something wasn't right. You couldn't pull a fast one on them with that one. You know.
And you're heartless if it didn't touch you, you know, because it was just that sensitive.
That's true. If you didn't feel anything after the story broke about Shanquella and found out that Nazir, all of them was lying, if that didn't hit you, then that means you don't have no heart. You don't have a soul. Like I said, when the father broke down on that interview and he talked about how he won't be able to walk his daughter down the aisle, he ain't gonna be a grandfather, and he broke down, that hit me. Because this is his only child. And he said, look, she's supposed to be burying me, not the other way around. And he's going to never recover from that. You know, you don't recover from stuff like that. Not when your child dies. That hurts every day. It ain't something you could forget. And, you know, no amount of money can erase the pain because you're constantly reminded that they're gone. And that eats at you. You know, some people go into depression. Some people, they don't want to go outside. They just want to stay indoors all day. Never go outside, never get no sunlight. They don't want to do nothing, no vacations. Because it's like, life is like, it doesn't even mean anything anymore because the child that you had, that you were living for, because it's like you were living to see your child grow up. It's like all of you that got children, you can understand exactly where I'm coming from. You know, you're looking at your children grow. They might make their mistakes, get in trouble and whatnot. But the goal is you want to see them grow up to be successful, have a family, do better things than what you did. You know, just to know that, hey, I did my part. I raised them and hey, they're doing good. So, hey, I live my life. Hey, if my time come and I got to check out, I'm happy. I'm good to go because I know I accomplished what I needed to accomplish with my kids. They good to go. And I did my job. Right? But now, to see your daughter, your only daughter, you know, she liked to travel. She have a business. And then to hear the story that, oh, this is how she died. You were lied to. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, you find out that the death certificate says that she had a spinal injury where basically her neck was messed up and she was in excruciating pain. And to see Nazir and all these people talking about, yeah, I wasn't even there, but I came in and I'm rubbing her head, which means he's bending her neck while she's in pain, unable to breathe, right? And none of them were able to get the medical help that she needed because they refused it. And they made hours pass by. So basically, they're responsible for her death. So under those circumstances, the Mexican government got to put together all of these facts now. And once you put all of that facts together, you realize that all of them neglected Shanquella, right? And being that they neglected her, they recorded the assault, right? You have witnesses that were there saying fight back. But she was like, no, meaning she ain't want to fight back. So once you have all of those facts, there's room for charges. But it must come down from the Mexican government. They got to move fast. Every day they're wasting time. This should have been wrapped up already. Like, what's the holdup? You know? Doesn't make any sense.
What do you want people to get from this event that's going to happen after it happens?
A sense of hope and unity and a sense of, you know, humanity. You know, we're human, you know, and the way she left us, because she belonged to us now, the way she left us, that it should never happen, you know. So I just want everybody to leave here with a sense of hope, unity, love. Love is the key thing. Love conquers all. So if that to be the message, let's leave here with love.
And you see, another thing that you have to get out of this is, and see, this is why the family needs support, because the brother is actually speaking on behalf of the family. See, some people have the ability to speak. Some people just don't. They don't have that ability, but they have a lot of pain inside. They're unable to talk, right? Some people they just don't have the ability to speak, whereas others do. So he's basically speaking on their behalf, especially for the news media and everybody else involved. So it's important that people do their part, especially the people that are close by. You know, they had some GoFundMe and all these people were donating and all this other stuff. That's nice. At the same time, that's not bringing Shanquella back. It's really not. And then you had this basketball player, and I talked about that. People keep getting upset with me. Listen, when a basketball player donates a substantial amount of money on a GoFundMe, he's not doing it because he cares about Shanquella. He's doing that so that he could gain the public glory. In other words, I did this, praise me. And especially during the time when he got in a little trouble with the media and the cancel culture and all of that other stuff, that was his way of trying to redeem himself. Y'all got to understand this. This is how it is in the world. People are not doing things because they really care. They'll do them for selfish glory. And I addressed that and people got upset because here's the thing. If I'm a multimillionaire, number one, I don't want to make a public show of me giving large amounts of money to the family so everybody could look at me, because it's not about me. It's about the family. So if I wanted to donate a large sum of money to the Shanquella's family, I would personally contact whoever represents them. And I would let them know, hey, I'm such and such basketball player from the NBA. I don't want to make a public show of this, but I would like to donate to the family privately. Keep that between you and me. I don't really want my name in the public papers or anything that I did anything. I just want to do this for you guys. You see that? That is how you know when somebody is doing what they're doing from their heart. But when people have to make it known that, yes, I gave 100 and something thousand, or I gave this amount, and have their name plastered on it, that person want public glory. You understand? And the Bible speaks against that. The Bible speaks against that. It says when you do your alms, don't do them as the hypocrites do, who want to be seen. In other words, if you see a homeless person, don't walk up to them with a plate of food and have your camera live streaming on YouTube talking about, hey guys, hey, this is Ringo. Check it out, fam. I'm out here feeding the homeless. You see? Hey, brother, here's a plate of food for you, God bless. Listen, if you see anybody doing that, they're a hypocrite. They're looking for the glory of men. They're not looking for the reward that comes from God. They're a hypocrite. You're supposed to do what you're doing in secret, not before others, not to be seen, in secret. If you know your family, the family next door is struggling and they don't got no food, right? You don't make a public show. You go and you give whatever you're going to give privately and you keep it moving. That's it. You're not looking for anything in return. That's when you know you're giving something from the heart. Because if you gave it that way, then the Most High will reward you in due time. But if you give to someone and you want everybody to know you did it, there's no reward in that. Because you're basically wanting people to worship you. And that's why I disagree with the basketball player donating a large sum of money and making it public. Because look at what that did. Let me explain how this thing works, because a lot of people, even though I just explained this, some people will still be in their feelings. What's the difference between what he donated from what the person donated that had $20? See, he might have donated a certain amount of money, and that might be a lot of money. But the person that might have donated $20, that probably was their last $20 to their name. Right? Now, let me show you how dumb this person is in the chat. Let me show you how dumb this person is in the chat. Because every now and then I get people like this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make an example out of you so that others can learn. Is that okay? We're going to use you as an example, and we're going to show the public why people like you exist and the problems that's really going on in your heart. I love when trolls like that enter the chat, because it allows me to open up the Bible, to embarrass them publicly and shame them before the whole world. So we're going to do that. Let me gather these scriptures, because I love these type of teaching moments. I love them, right? We're going to really do a number on you. So get ready. Now, let me break this thing down. Let me see. Bada boom, boom, boom. Okay. Okay, now, let me get my scriptures ready so I could cut this person up. Right? Let me see. Okay. Let me see. All right, let me get all right. Person said I sound like a hater. All right, we got that. Okay. All right. Now, okay. Now, it's very important that you pay attention as I break this thing down, because I want to show you how the devil used people, right? So I'm going to break this thing down. See, I am a professional at what I do. And when people come into my chat and they do things like that, all you do is you just embarrass yourself. That's all I got to say. You're literally embarrassing yourself. So we're going to break this thing down. We're going to make you famous, because that's what you want to be. You want to be famous, right? See, I don't want to be famous. I don't like that. I don't like fame. I really don't. I like private life. But we're going to use you as an example. And then we're going to get back into the video. Right? Now, let's break down the scriptures, and let's show how this person is operating with the devil. Now, this person is a grifter, right? Because their name is Grifty, right? Said, I'm not in my feelings, but you are judging, and that's a fact. You don't know that man's heart. He said, the Bible also says, stop judging, so you cannot judge somebody else's heart. You're wrong, dead wrong. You sound like a hater for this. Everybody is not like you. Some people do it so other people can follow as an example. Now, you just said that the Bible says to stop judging, but yet you're judging me. You said that the Bible says to stop judging, So why are you judging me, sir? Wouldn't that make you a hypocrite by default? Right? That would make you a hypocrite by default. Yes. Now let's read what the Bible says in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 1 through 5. It says, "Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye met, it shall be measured to you again. And why behold thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considereth not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote out thy brother's eye." So, based on the scriptures, the Bible does not say you cannot judge anyone. The Bible do not say that you cannot judge somebody. If that was the case, why do we have a court law and a system of judgment? If that was the case, then if a man rob you, why call the cops? Just let it go. Now, let's break this thing down. Because a lot of people are dumb out here. And I understand, you're just not an educated person. But I'll help you. You said the Bible says, stop judging. So you cannot judge somebody else's heart. So then why are you judging my heart, sir? Why are you judging mine? You said you cannot judge someone else's heart, so why are you judging mine? Wouldn't you be dead wrong by default? Now, allow me to educate you, because you're not a smart person. When the Bible says, judge not, that ye be not judged, that is not a command to never judge someone. The scriptures mean, do not judge someone in hypocrisy. Do not judge someone in hypocrisy. For example, if I'm a drug dealer and I'm outside selling crack, making money, I cannot look at my brother and tell him that what he's doing is wrong when I'm doing the same thing. I cannot look at my brother who is outside selling drugs and try to condemn him for selling drugs when I'm doing the same thing. That is why the Bible says, thou hypocrite, verse 5, first cast out the beam out thine own eye, which means you should stop selling drugs first before you judge your brother. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, or in our day, first stop selling drugs, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote out thy brother's eye. In other words, you cannot try to judge your brother if he's selling drugs, if you are selling drugs too. Hypocrite. At no point did I judge this basketball player in hypocrisy, because I'm not out there donating a large sum of money in the public. Fool. In order for me to be a hypocrite, it would mean that I'm guilty of doing what he did. That would be judging him in hypocrisy. I'm judging him righteously. And because you're dumb and you don't read the Bible, I'm gonna have to break this thing down for you. So now, we're gonna go pull another scripture. Because again, this individual don't know the Bible. And when you have people like this that try to teach and try to talk against men of truth, you're gonna only embarrass yourself. Because I'm gonna thoroughly teach, to break things down. So now, we're going to go get another verse of scripture, and we'll get back into the show and do what we got to do. But I must do this work, because there are those out there that may think just like this individual, and we can't let them get away with just saying things in the chat and think they're not going to go unpunished. Oh no, you're going to be rebuked openly before all. That's a fact. Right? Now, let me get these scriptures ready so that we can focus on this truth. We're going to go to, let me see, verse 1 through, let's say, verse 7. Let me see. Break this thing down. Okay, I think we got verse 7. Okay, yeah, all right. Now I'm not done breaking that down. I'm going to break that down more, but I got to break these things down because people think that they could just come in here and be religious, not realizing that I'm a follower of the Most High and I know the Bible front to back. Now, before I break down that scripture, let me continue to put slow roast this particular person. Now, the Bible says, judge not that thy be not judge. Judge not that ye be not judge. In other words, judge not in hypocrisy. Don't judge another man in hypocrisy. If you're a man, right, and you are sleeping with another man's wife, and you know that you are sleeping with another man's wife, you cannot go judging another man that is doing the same thing like you. You cannot go to another brother that you know is sleeping with another man's wife and tell him, bro, that's wrong what you doing, fam. You're committing adultery. That's another man's wife. You cannot tell that brother nothing. Why? Because you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. That's why in verse 2, it says, for with what judgment ye judge, it shall be judged. In other words, if you're judging in hypocrisy, you're going to be judged for that because they're going to call you out on your BS. And with what measure ye met, it shall be measured to you again. So if you're judging a guy for his adulterous life, he's going to flip that right back on you and say, hold up, fam, how you judging me for sleeping with this guy's wife? And I know you doing the same thing on the job with that woman over there who's married. Hypocrite. Verse 3, and why beholdest the mote that is in thy brother's eye, and considereth not the beam that is in thine own? In other words, you hypocrite, you know good and well that you are sleeping with another man's wife. You blowing her back out. But you're judging this other guy because you know he's messing with a married woman. And you're gossiping about him on the job, talking about, yo, fam, you know he messing with a married woman? You're a hypocrite. You got a whole beam in your eye judging another man, and you haven't even overcome your own sin. Verse 4, or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own? In other words, how can you constructively help your brother overcome his sin when your whole life is fucked up too? How are you going to help him now? Please tell me how. How could you help a brother overcome his sin when you're still in your own sin? Hypocrite. Verse 5, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly. Why are you going to see clearly? Because you're not in sin. So now your confidence level is up. See, here's the thing, fam. I cannot help a brother overcome his sin if I'm practicing the same exact sin. Why? Because I'm not going to have confidence to help him because my heart is guilt tripping me. Hypocrite. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. At no point in the history of life have I ever donated hundreds of thousands of dollars on a GoFundMe to anyone. So how the fuck you gonna tell me that I'm wrong? And see, this is the problem with hypocrites that don't know the scriptures. But you're cursing. Isn't that a sin? No, it's not. What's sin? You're crazy. That's like saying, if I say the word ass, oh, you're an asshole. You're cursing. That's a sin. Really? So what's the proper name of a donkey, you dumbass? You don't even know your own English language, fool. Now that we understand the true meaning of judge not, I hope that everybody learned something in church today. Because the scripture is not saying never to judge anyone. It's saying don't judge in hypocrisy. Don't be a hypocrite. So now when you say you sound like a hater for this, no, I don't have no hate in my heart towards no one. You're the one who hate me for speaking the truth. That's right. Now, let's break down this particular scripture here. And then we're going to get back into the lesson of today concerning Shanquella. And my apologies to everybody that's in the clouds. But again, I'm just rolling with the spirit. So I got to do what I got to do when it comes to these lessons. Now, concerning the basketball player, let's break down what the Bible says regarding what he did. Because he violated this scripture. Matthew chapter 6, verse 1 through 7 says, "Take heed that ye do not your alms before men, to be seen of them. Otherwise, ye have no reward of your Father, which is in heaven." See, what the basketball player did is he violated all of these scriptures. It said, take heed that ye do not your alms before men, to be seen of men. Why? Otherwise, ye have no reward of your Father, which is in heaven. So how can this hypocrite that was in the chat tell me that I'm wrong for judging when I judged the basketball player righteously by the word of the Most High Yah? I judged him based on the scriptures, not based on my own personal feelings. Verse 2, "Therefore, when thou doest thine alms," look what it's telling you to do. "When thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. For verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest thine alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father, which seeth in secret, himself shall reward thee openly." Right? Verse 5, "And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward." Verse 6, "But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet," or better yet, people, your private place, your private area. "And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking." See, hypocrites do all of these things. And that is what I did when I judged the basketball player. By the Bible. So don't come into this chat to embarrass yourself, because that's all you're going to get. I will cook you with the Bible. I will break every scripture down. You understand? I am a veteran teacher in these YouTube spaces since 2006. So don't ever come in my chat talking any garbage, and you don't even follow the Most High. You don't even keep his commandments. You don't even honor his days. You don't even know him. But you got something to say. What that basketball player did was wicked, because it wasn't about Shanquella. It was about himself. He wanted the glory of men. And I judged them accordingly based on the Bible. So how could you tell me I'm wrong when you don't even know the Bible? Now, let's get back to the video.
What is resolution for the family and you guys? Is that every one of these people getting arrested and going to jail serving the proper? Everybody talk about justice. What justice are you guys exactly looking for?
So, me and the family haven't had that conversation together, but if I may say, yes, there you go.
Everybody being arrested and doing time in Mexico. Everybody extradited over there and doing their time there. That'll be justice for us as of now.
Now, she want justice. She want everybody to be extradited to Mexico to serve time and do all of that stuff. I could tell that she's a family member based on Shanquella's mom. I don't know who's who, but I could tell that she's a family member. They look alike. Probably another daughter, perhaps. Probably, I don't know. Maybe somebody could fill in the blanks. But they want all 6 to be extradited back to Mexico to face charges, which is something that they should do. At the end of the day, they need to do that. But at the same time, there got to be a due process. Now, I don't know. The rules are different in Mexico. So it's not like over here in States, it's a little different. So I don't know how their laws is, but I know their prisons are worse than over here. So if they get extradited over there to serve time, it's going to be a brutal sentence. And they're not going to care. And if you're American, they definitely going to treat you like trash over there. So that's what they really need to do. So them issuing one warrant, I think that's like an insult to the family. It's a slap in the face to Shanquella's death. They should have all of them round up and shipped back to Mexico. See, first thing we have to examine, ladies and gentlemen, is that they should have never been allowed to leave. They should have never been allowed to leave. Listen, Mexico messed up by letting them leave. They dropped the ball by letting them leave. They were never supposed to return to the United States. They were supposed to stay down there and go through an investigation to try to figure out how this woman died. And if they would have found out that, it was she had a neck injury, spinal injury, right there, they're supposed to have all of them in custody to be like, look, what happened? And they go search them, go through the proper procedures. They would have found the videotapes. They would have found evidence. They would have found everything they needed. By them being able to leave Mexico and come back to the States, allowed them to change their cell phone numbers, scrub their phones of any sort of information, delete text messages. There's a lot of stuff that could have been recovered to put together a case to, put these folks in prison. I mean, it could still get done. But again, it's going to take the public continuing to pour out that outcrying for justice for Shanquella, just like we're doing for Takeoff. Just because they got that one guy charged for the murder of Takeoff, that's not satisfying for us. At least it's not for me. I need to see the videotapes. I need to see the proof on what went down. And likewise, we need to have the proof as well as an investigation going for the situation with Shanquella so that we can get at least Dejanay Jackson arrested and charged. She needs to be charged, right? She needs to be charged by the pure fact that she assaulted and attacked Shanquella while she was naked. Shanquella did not want to fight. So it was not a fight. It was not a consensual agreement to fight. They came in that room with the camera ready. This woman was naked in front of other men and beaten, you understand, and injured and murdered on camera. And not one man stepped in and stopped that fight. That's why I said in my last streams that I don't think them dudes are masculine men. No offense, but I'm just calling it what it is. I don't think that those guys were masculine men. I think that they were more on the effeminate side. Because real men are not going to stand by watching women kill each other. We're going to stop that fight, especially if this sister's naked. Like, come on. Like, what guy stands right there watching this for entertainment? Real men don't do that. So we would have stopped that fight. And it makes us brothers look bad because it's like, wow, y'all sitting there recording this. The sister is naked and y'all letting her fight and she don't want to fight. How do you get any glory in beating somebody's tail when they don't want to fight you? How do you get any glory? What is that movie? I think the movie is called Troy. I'm not sure, but I forgot the guy's name, the hero. Remember the dude with the blonde hair? I forgot his name. What is his name, man? Atheus, or what's his name? I don't know. Somebody probably put it in the chat. But remember the scene where the star, the main guy, the warrior, the guy that was killing everybody, right? His brother was fighting the other dude, and he thought, well, not his stage name, Achilles. Not. I know it's Brad Pitt already. I was looking for the actor. His name as an actor is Achilles, right? Remember the scene where Achilles' brother put on his face shield and his armor, and he was fighting the other king? Remember? And he thought that he was fighting Achilles. And when he slit his neck, everybody was like, oh, snap, you killed Achilles. And then he pulled off the mask and realized he was his younger brother or his cousin. I think it was his cousin, right? And when that happened, he knew he messed up. And when Achilles finally got to fight this particular man, he told him, look, I'm taking off my mask so you can know that you're fighting me. And there was a point in the fight where they were fighting and the other guy tripped over a rock. And he said, get up. I'm not going to make a rock take my glory. In other words, I'm not going to go and kill you because you stumbled over a rock. I want to make sure I kill you man to man. Right? So now what I'm trying to say with that point is that there is no glory in Dejanay fighting Shanquella if she don't want to fight. There's no glory in that. You see that? What are you going to say? What are you going to do? You're going to tell everybody you whooped her tail? She didn't even want to fight. There's no glory in that. I wouldn't even feel good about myself. I'll feel like a bully. If I'm beating up some dude and he's not even fighting back, I'll feel like an idiot. You know what I mean? That's why when people in the hood see a fight and a dude getting his face broken up and he's not fighting back, they normally break the fight up. They're like, all right, yo, chill. Yo, he ain't fighting back, man. This ain't even a fair fight. You killing him. We don't want to see the dude die now. But nobody did that for Shanquella. Why? That's why everybody's supposed to be charged. So even if Dejanay murdered her, right? Everybody that's in that house are supposed to be brought up on charges. But it's up to the Mexican government and the authorities to bring about those charges. They got to do that. Right? Let's get back to the tapes.
Can you say anything?
We can't say anything. Yeah, we can't say anything about it, but they're working on it.
Should people expect huge crowds again? Like, because I mean, at the for funeral services, there's obviously hundreds, if not thousands, of people that showed up. Do people expect huge crowds again on Saturday?
Absolutely, yes. The message and the word has gotten out, and we just want to be able to accommodate and, like, again, come to look, show their support for the family.
Could everybody hear their volume loud enough, or do I need to raise the volume? I think I need to raise the volume. Let me see if I can raise that volume, because I'm not sure if everybody can hear them clear. I need to make sure that you can hear them. So let me raise the volume up on that a little bit. Let me see if I could do this real quick. All right, somebody saying turn it up a bit. Okay, let me Let me do that real quick because I need to make, it's like I just have that feeling that it needs to be turned up a bit. So let me do this real fast. This should be good. Let me see now.
And love on them, let them know that we stand with them.
So support she got, this have to say a lot about Charlotte disappearing and how they support people, you know, especially what she named herself, things like that.
Repeat that.
Talk about, you know, the fact that she got so much support, you know, what it means, like Charlotte, the area of Charlotte, they care about it.
You want to answer that?
I can answer that.
Yeah.
So basically what you said is why Charlotte has shown so much support. And it goes back to the question that you asked earlier. And I think it's because of who she was. Shanquella Robinson was a beautiful person inside and out. She wasn't a person who was into drama and mess. And she was just the epitome of a young girl that was, quote unquote, doing her thing. She was doing the right thing, finished school, doing all these positive things and had positive things just going for her. So that is why I believe that Charlotte is rallying together and other supporters who have rallied together to support it, because as Mario said earlier, she did not deserve what happened to her. You know, and it's unfortunate that there are a lot of people who can be jealous, who can be envious of you.
You really got to watch your friends, fam. You got to watch out who is around you and protect your space and protect your greatness. You know, if you're a sister and you know you're doing your thing, you know what I mean? You got to protect that. You got to really know who you roll with. Don't just think that because you know a few ladies that they really cool with you. You got to really know that. Just like I tell these guys, you know, you might be doing your thing as a brother. You got to really roll solo. It doesn't mean that you're antisocial. It doesn't mean that you just stay away from people. You just got to know how to roll the right way and protect what you got. You got to really protect that.
So in addition to the justice that we know is going to be served, we also wanted to show a lesson to people that you have to say something, that you have to do something, because you are just as guilty as doing it if you stand around and you're recording things. And that seems to be the culture of today.
That's true. That's why the other folks that was there are guilty, because they were all standing around. They were all standing around recording, and they didn't stop it. You're supposed to know that Shanquella didn't want to fight. Just based off of the video when she was getting punched in the face and bashed and beaten, that was enough to say, yo, chill, stop, yo, enough. Nah, man, this ain't right. Somebody had to say that, but nobody said a word. You know what I mean? So it come in like every last one of them that was in that room wanted to see Shanquella in pain. They all hated her. They all were jealous of her. They all had ill will against her. They all wanted to see that. You understand? None of them were her friends. None of them.
And we want to do something about it. So this whole rally is just, like he said, coming together in love, just to show this family the love and support that they deserve and that they need, because the more love you feel, the better you'll feel. So it will give us hope. And actually, we hope that it will change somebody else's opinion and change their mind. So when they're standing there, instead of recording a fight or doing something like that, they will help, or an assault. I won't even call it a fight, recording an assault, they will get some help. They will do something, you know, and say something. So
that's true. Hopefully it'll change the way people think, because we live in the culture right now where everybody just pull out cell phones and just say world star. That's the culture we live in right now. You could be dying in the street with a bullet in your head and everybody will film you so they could post it on their social medias. Nobody won't even call the ambulance, the police, nobody. We live in a crazy world. You could be getting attacked on the train and everybody will leave the car. That's right. But they'll record you from far just so they could get the world star moment. Just so they could get some clicks and views off your death. Sad world we live in.
That is one of the main purposes, because our youth are, you know, he's Million Youth March of Charlotte. Our youth are heavily affected, and so we hate that Shanquella had to be the person to set the example. But I do believe that after this has happened, we won't see any more of this. That is our ultimate goal, and so that's why they're coming. That's why this family is showing up. That's why this family wants you to know who Shanquella Robinson was, because if you know her, to know her is to love her. And like he said, it was not, you know, this was unjustified. And until justice is served, this family will not be healed. But this is just one of the many acts that's going to happen to show her love. And we appreciate Charlotte stepping up. We appreciate all the stars and, you know, the people who have come in and who are sharing it, because without them bringing attention to this, we honestly don't know if anything would have happened.
And see, that's exactly why it's important for people to speak on these issues, but the sincere ones, not the ones that troll you, not the clickbaiters, not the people that are exploiting Shanquella, but the people that keep the story going, the people that, you know, are actively involved, that put information out there to stimulate thoughts in people. It's very important that people continue to do that.
So we are grateful for the love and the support that Charlotte has shown this family. I'm sorry, my name is Lakeisha Mobley. Thank you. LAKEISHAMOBLEY. And I represent Team True Blue and Mothers of Murder Offspring.
Did y'all expect this kind of outpouring? I mean, did you think that just, you know, people all across the world would be sending donations and doing these types of things and showing so much love?
No. You didn't.
Dr. Walker, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Walker, pastor here at Little Rock Emmy Zion Church, and we are honored to welcome the Robinson family and the community of Charlotte to come to celebrate the life of Shanquella, as well as to just put the spotlight on this horrific event. And to, as Reverend Mobley said, to encourage others that you can say something. You are responsible. You are your brother and your sister's keeper.
And we need people to have that mindset, because it's like we lost that mindset of caring. You know, a lot of people don't care no more. We live in a cold world where people will literally see you dying and not do nothing. You know, if you don't want to be a hero, then hey, call the police, say something, yell, so that the person can be like, you know, whatever's going on, the perp might run, you know, but don't just stand there and pull out your phone. That's the world we live in right now, and it's sick. It's really sickening, and it happens with our people. Our people. It happens all the time. Really crazy.
And we are responsible for one another. We can't turn a blind eye when we see things like this happen.
We can't continue to turn a blind eye. Do you know that if the community band together anytime situations like this happen, criminals could never get away? Imagine if everybody, anytime something happened, anybody in a family lost a loved one, a shooting, whatever the case is, and the entire community band together. The person who does the murder and the crime will never get away, because they're going to get called out. They're going to point them out, you know, because somebody seen something, somebody heard something.
We have to say something. If you don't say something, then certainly you're just as guilty as the person who did it.
That's exactly true. That would make you a murderer at heart. So this is why all 6 of them need to be extradited to Mexico to go through the due process. And the authorities and the government got to piece all of this together, gather all the facts, look at what they, told the parents, the mother and father, in terms of lying. Look at the circumstances that happened when they denied proper medical attention to Shanquella. They got to look at the timeline, how they neglected her. Maybe they possibly drugged her. You know, there's a lot of things that may have been done to Shanquella that they should have been investigated. It's probably too late now, but all of this was, it should have been done. It should have been done before they even went through with the funeral. They should have been a major investigation on any other things that could have possibly happened to her, you know, because I don't trust those guys that were there. Remember, we're talking about a woman that was naked, and you have 3 guys that was in that place. So ain't no telling that went on. Ain't no telling what went on and what may have allegedly happened. You know, people are drinking. Ain't no telling what happened. They probably even got stuff on videotape. So there needs to be a major investigation, because, hey, The reason why they staying quiet is because they may have dirt on one another. Because if they bring Dejanay down to Mexico, I know she's going to be ratting everybody out. She's not going to go down for this by herself. She's going to shed some secrets. Most definitely.
And so we want to stand with this family. As Little Rock AME Zion Church, we want to open up our doors to the community to let them know that we are a place of healing and a place of hope, and you're certainly welcome here to express that. So we hope that people will come and wrap their arms around this family, and that we will send a message across the world that the city of Charlotte does care. And as people, though I did not know Shanquella, I have 4 daughters. It could have been my daughter. It could be your daughter.
Now, notice what he said. He said, even though he didn't know her, he said he have 4 daughters. He said he have 4 daughters. I, Ringo TV, I have 4 daughters. So I know. You understand? I have 4 daughters. So I know how that father must be feeling. You know, just to think of one of your daughters getting deleted and you going through that nightmare, man, that'll drive you crazy, man.
So we want to be sure that this does not happen ever again to anyone. So thank you so much for your time.
I want to piggyback on something. She said nobody has been arrested.
Yeah.
Nobody's been arrested.
Arrest warrant.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Let that be known. All right, we good?
Is there anything else you got?
I think y'all missed that part. Listen to this. I'm going to rewind it back. Did anybody hear that part? Let's see if anybody's paying attention in class. Put in the chat what she just said, if y'all paying attention. Let's see if anybody paying attention. Let's see. Was anybody paying attention? Because what she just said right there is clear proof that, let me see. There you go. Let me see. Annette got it correct. There you go. Annette Brown. Paul got it. Solomon and a few others. Shao. Yeah. All right. So y'all heard it. Some of y'all probably went and rewind back the tape, right? Some of y'all probably rewind back the tape. Let me see. All right. I'm going to play it back.
I want to piggyback on something. She said nobody has been arrested.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody's been arrested.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. She said nobody been arrested. Now, what does that say about the greed attorney? What does that say about him? And y'all still listening to him? Y'all still want him to interpret something in Spanish to try to impress you with some nonsense when you don't even speak Spanish? Really? She said nobody was arrested. So why are folks still listening to these people? They're no longer credible when it comes to these circumstances. Period. There's no way around this, fam. He lied. He misled the public. And the family is right here telling you that nobody been arrested. Nobody. You understand? Nobody been arrested.
Let that be known.
You know why he just said that? Let it be known? Because they know about the bloggers on YouTube that are spreading disinformation. They know about them. Look at her mom face. You think she's happy about that? I'm telling you, man, a lot of these YouTubers, man, they doing a lot of dirty things and they don't really care. This is what I talked about in terms of sincere content creators that are speaking on the issues and making their thoughts be known based on facts. And if something is not a fact, just say alleged or whatever the case is. But don't say, in your title, Dejanay Jackson, they got her, she's arrested, and she's not. And to think these folks still have their videos up. You know what I mean? That's just sad. Even though she haven't been arrested. That's sad.
All right, we good?
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Make sure your hands.
I love this painting, the kindness, the loving.
Oh, let me lower down the volume. Let me lower it back down because I know that it's going to kick in pretty hot. Let me lower it back down because it's two different video clips. Whoops, wrong one. Okay. Lower this down. I don't want it to blow up your eardrums. Let me see if it's good.
That she was. It's all I got is our memories and this photo, my child.
Those memories.
It's certain pictures make you cry.
You see that? She got to go through all of this pain, misery over the loss of her daughter. She have to go through all of this mess. And I don't know why the justice is taking so long. You know, shouldn't take that long. They should be able to get justice right away.
These portraits
It's good memories.
are what Shanquella Robinson's parents hold close to their heart.
She's on my mind the first thing I wake up in the morning. The first thought is in my mind is her, Shanquella.
The first thing in the morning when she wake up is Shanquella. That's the first thing on her mind. And now, daughter ain't there no more.
She was a beautiful person on the outside, and she was a very beautiful person in the inside. She just had a beautiful spirit.
Wow. Beautiful spirit cut short because of jealousy, because some people didn't have the lifestyle that she had. So they decided to beat her up out of jealousy. And that's what people do when they don't like you, man. They try their best to cut your life short.
Shanquella's life and legacy now shaped by her final moments. A brutal beating shared on social media.
You see this mess? This is what they did. They plotted and planned this while on vacation. On vacation, of all places. A time when you're supposed to be having fun, hanging out. You know what I mean? Making, good videos so that when you come back to the States, you got some memories. Instead, they want to fight this girl. This is crazy. But hey, in due time, hopefully they get the justice that they need and put all of this behind them and move on.
Vicious death while on vacation with friends.
Growing mysteries surrounding the death of an American tourist.
Just one day into that vacation, she turned up dead.
The FBI has...
So that was one day? The news just said, I guess in one day of being on her vacation, she turned up dead. So basically on the first day, she turned up dead. That's crazy. It come in like they planned that because they didn't even get to enjoy their stay. That mean that they most likely went down there, killed her, allegedly, and then came back home.
Open an investigation.
I'm raising awareness for Shanquella Robinson.
She's raising awareness for Shanquella Robinson.
Horrifying story gripping the country. Cries for justice spreading online.
Shanquella needs justice.
And that's good that a lot of people online is doing this, because we need more people that, are pushing the message so that people can pretty much learn about the story. It's very important that people do that.
And now, Mexican authorities charging an unnamed U.S. citizen with murder, one of Shanquella's acquaintances.
And see, another thing is they didn't, they have the warrant that's out, right? But they never said the name Dejanay Jackson. It's like they don't even want to mention her name. So I'm kind of wondering, is that her real name? Is that her real name, or that's just a name she gave them? And that's why you don't see nobody talking about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just confused.
Still, the family left wondering what happened, who did it, and why.
They did it because of jealousy. There's no other way around it. Jealousy. That's why they killed her. They wanted her out of here because it made them feel good.
mystery of this case is that the people that she was with when she died, they let leave Mexico.
I thank God for the 25 years that she were here with me, you know. But I hate to see my child leave here like that, you know. That was a terrible way for her to die.
Terrible way. Terrible way to leave. She didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to her mom. She didn't even get a chance to nothing. And they just took that away.
What were her hopes and dreams? What were her plans for herself?
Well, she always said she wanted to have a successful business. You know, that's all she pretty much talked about. And she could do anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
And that's what they were jealous of. They were jealous of the fact that she was successful.
That she said a man to do.
This is crazy, man. Very, very crazy situation. I don't want all that extra music in the video. Trying to cut all of that stuff out.
Miami, Vegas, Jamaica. And in October, she was heading to San Jose del Cabo, Mexico.
So she loved to travel. Based on this particular clip, she loved traveling. She was a traveler. She traveled around a lot, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if she paid for those people to come down there. I wouldn't be surprised. Some mixed stories are going around that they invited her, but I doubt it. I think she had the money to get her friends to I guess, enjoy life with her. And that still wasn't enough. It's crazy.
A seaside escape with 6 others.
She was very excited about it. She called me and I said, well, okay, enjoy yourself. And I'll call you by the time I think you've gotten there. That Friday evening, she seemed very excited about the trip, you know. And she said she was getting ready to eat some tacos. They had a chef there.
So they had a chef. She's eating tacos, having a great old time, doing her thing. She was keeping contact with her mom, you know, letting her know what the deal is.
And I said, okay, love you. I will talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. And I never spoke with my child again.
Wow. Wow. Never in a million years did she expect that would be the last phone call. It's crazy. Imagine you speaking to your child and, you know, everything is, you know, you're talking to them and then that's it. You know, and I could kind of relate to that. You know what I'm saying? I could kind of relate to exactly what she's been through. I can recall before my mom had passed away, she had passed away of cancer, right? I can recall the Saturday I was speaking to her on the phone and I was like, hey, mom, coming over to mom or see you, blah, 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 blah. Keep in mind that the family already done knew that she only had a certain amount of time. So it was like we were all trying to, I guess, spend some time with her and whatnot. And I had spoke to her on the Saturday and she was like, yeah, you know, bring me some food. You know, I want this, that. And, you know, I had everything set up. So I spoke to her on the phone and I was like, I couldn't wait to get over there because, you know, we already knew the circumstances. We knew the hospitals couldn't do anything more for her. It was a done deal. You know what I mean? She was going to pass away regardless. So everybody was trying to, I guess, get their final you know, views and see her and talk to her. And she sounded very strong, very, very strong. And when I went over there the next day, she was already gone. You know what I'm saying? She was gone. And there's still some issues regarding that, you know, that I kind of hold with my elder brother because normally what the hospitals do when someone is a cancer patient or whatever the case is, when they know they're going to check out, they normally give the family some sort of drug or some sort of thing that they could kind of put in the IV or something like that can kind of make your loved one pass on easy without no pain and all that other stuff. And I personally feel that my elder brother may have possibly given her that. That's my personal belief, because he didn't want to see her suffering no more. Because if you have a family member that have died of cancer or anything like that, you know what I'm talking about. Once the hospital send them home, they tell you don't call us because there's really nothing we could do. So it's like it's it's all on you at this point. So you're basically their caregiver until they die. So I don't know, but I think that's what happened, because when I spoke to her, she was sounding very strong. She couldn't wait to see me, the girls, and everything else. So it was like, when I got there, she was like in a sleep-like state, but she was gone already. The machine basically was keeping her going, but she was pretty much done. You couldn't wake her up. I tried waking her up. She was gone. And when that happened, I know exactly what that felt like. So to see the mom say that she spoke to Shanquella and everything was good 1 minute, and then she hear the next minute she's dead, that just tore her to pieces. You know what I mean? So, hey, I know what that pain is like. You know what I mean? Yeah, I appreciate all those comments. I appreciate it. It's real. So just think about how it feels to lose your mom or your dad. Now think about how a mom feel to lose her daughter. Think about the pain. That's deep. It's not a joke. It's serious. You know what I'm saying? It's a deep pain that don't go away. You know? It's really, really, and you know, a lot of times people will see the mom and you don't see her shedding tears, right? But what you got to understand is the tears are inside. The tears that she have, the pain is inside. It's a numbing, hard pain. Like you're choking. And it's like, man, you can't get over that. You know? So, hey, I know what that's like, man. Trust and believe.
Not even 24 hours after her daughter landed in paradise, Salamandra says she got a worrying call from one of the friends who told her Shanquella wasn't feeling well.
Wow.
And I said, well, what's wrong with her? And he said, alcohol poisoning.
Wow. Somebody called her and told her Shanquella wasn't feeling well, alcohol poisoning. That's messed up.
Know what alcohol poison was, you know. But he said the doctor is on the way. And I said, well, how you know alcohol poison if the doctor haven't arrived yet?
Wow. How do you know it's alcohol poison if the doctor haven't arrived yet? Good call, Mom.
According to the police report, the doctor recommended that Shanquella be taken to the hospital, but the friends allegedly refused.
Wow. So the friends refused to take her to the hospital. You know why? Because they already know what they did to her. They know what they did to her. You understand? Wow. Listen, I feel that those guys that were there may have done something sexual to her. That's just my belief. And they didn't want to call the authorities and the hospitals and everything because they knew it would bite them. I believe that if they would have called the proper medical folks, they would have knew that this woman was murdered, and they would have all been brought up on charges. That's why they didn't give her no medical aid. That's why.
Why you can't take her to the hospital? You know, take her to the hospital. And he said, well, they say you have to have cash money. I said, well, she has insurance. And he said, well, she need about $5,000 to be seen in the emergency room.
Wow.
Soon after.
So basically, she need about $5,000 to be seen. Sound like they were trying to extort the mom for some cash, it sound like.
Another series of calls. Salamandra was told an ambulance had arrived, but it was too late.
They said that she was responsible and the ambulance was trying to resuscitate her. He said he was sorry that Shanquella had passed.
Wow.
He said it just like that?
Just like that. He wasn't even emotionally upset or nothing about it. And
notice what she said. He wasn't even emotional about it, which means he didn't care. Again, if there's no sign of emotions, this is why, you know, look, a lot of people don't understand, man. When you got love for someone, you know what I mean? You're going to cry. You're going to cry. Now, after the fact, you might not cry as much unless you think about the person. Then you might shed a tear if you reminisce on them. But if you initially lose a loved one, it's going to break you down and you're going to be crying. So she didn't hear no emotion.
I say, well, you know, it was nothing I could do. It's just my heart just crumbled, you know, because I couldn't even get to my child. She's 2,000 miles away.
Right.
Local Mexican authorities later releasing the police report stating the cause of death as cardiac arrest.
Wow. This is wild, man. They did her dirty and then fled the country. came right back to the States.
Salamandra says days later, the friends returned to the States after their vacation.
After their vacation.
But as the family grieved, Salamandra says she received a disturbing call.
Another disturbing call. Notice how many times she's getting these phone calls, and it's just bad news upon bad news.
I got a call from somebody, I didn't even know who it was, and they said that they was over there fighting that girl. And that's the way they left it, just like that.
Wow, somebody called her and said that they were fighting her daughter.
Someone just called you, said that, and then hung up.
And hung up. Say they was over there fighting. I don't know why they keep talking about alcohol poison.
Wow. Somebody called her and said they're fighting over there with your daughter and it's not no alcohol poison. So basically somebody got a hold of the number and informed the mom of what went down.
Salamandra telling us she confronted the friends about that call when they visited her at home in Charlotte, North Carolina.
She confronted them.
Crying and say they never had a fight. They even sit here and say they was picking out what they was wearing to the funeral. They sit down here and we was talking about what colors we was gonna wear and what we was gonna do. And they sit here and say, pick out what they was wearing to the funeral.
When they are the ones that allegedly murdered her. And they in front of the mom talking about what they're gonna wear and this and that and that. That's crazy. Them people, wow, bro.
As Shanquilla's family was making plans for her funeral, they received bombshell news contradicting everything they'd been told by the so-called friends and the police report.
So everybody was lying the whole time. Everybody was lying to the mom.
When they called me and the autopsy came back, it all made sense.
According to the death certificate from Mexico, the 25-year-old died from a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation.
Wow. Severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. This is crazy. They don't say anything about no alcohol poisoning. You see that? So right there is all the proof that somebody did something dirty to this woman. Dirty.
A dislocated neck.
Dislocated neck.
There was no mention of alcohol or cardiac arrest.
No mention of alcohol. No mention. So that throws out the whole poisoning stuff. That's out of the window. Crazy, man. See, once the mom got the paperwork, that it made her realize right there that her daughter was possibly murdered. And that's what kicked off Twitter to start going wild. Twitter started wilding out with the news, and that's what made it get national attention, you know, because people on Twitter was tweeting this story all over the place.
And the approximate time of death was at 3 p.m., just 15 minutes after the injuries.
15 minutes after the injuries. Wow. That's crazy. So she was already gone. So when Nazir says he was sitting there rubbing her head with some music, she was already dead. You see that? So he lied. He was basically massaging a corpse because he knew that they done killed her. You understand what I mean? He knew what he did. He knew what was done. That's why he went live trying to cover himself, because he knew that he had involvement. So he was trying to distance himself from everybody by saying, hey, I was trying to help her. No, fam, you're supposed to go to jail too.
What went through your mind when you heard that?
Oh, just couldn't believe it. You know, we just got sick on the stomach.
Salamandra again says she confronted one of the friends who lived nearby.
One of the friends lived nearby. Now look what she said, one of the friends lived nearby. So that means one of the Kobo 6 live near the mom. So one of those people that were there is in her area, living their life, having a good time. So why they're not getting picked up? What's taking so long? This is why the public have to push for justice. This is why. You know?
They say Shanquella didn't die from no alcohol poisoning. They say she had been beating her neck. He broke out in a sweat, and he came out his shirt. He was sweating so bad, it's like it was eating him up.
Wow. So basically, this person told her all of this information. See that? Guilty. Heart is bothering you. Your conscience is bothering you. You had to confess.
Soon, another punch in the gut. Graphic cell phone footage leaked online appearing to show Shanquella naked, physically assaulted by another woman, while others appeared to watch on, even encourage it.
Wow.
Look, can you at least fight back?
All six of them had an opportunity to stop that situation. Neither one of them didn't do nothing about it. Who give them the right to take a life?
You see the father breaking down? You see that?
He didn't give her no kind of care, no help.
No help.
I can just feel her suffering, man. The last breath she took out of her body.
You see him shedding tears? That's the pain of a father right there, man. That's not no joke. When you see a grown man shedding tears like that, man, that's pain. Deep pain. You know what I mean? And he looked like a cool guy that's just kind of laid back, just kind of just chill, you know, proud of his daughter, you know? And to see him breaking down like that, that's not a joke, bro. That's serious business, man. That man hurting.
It's hard, but I want the world to see it. I want everything to come out because I want justice for my child.
I pray for her family and I pray for justice.
That video sparking demands for answers.
I'm raising awareness for Shanquella Robinson.
Thousands of people across social media posting justice for Quilla and say her name, and hundreds attending her funeral in solidarity.
I just thought she would be burying me, not me burying her, man.
Wow. He said, I thought she would be burying me, not me burying her.
Came to the funeral home and I stood over, man. And I told her, baby girl, you would not die in vain. Daddy will get to the bottom of it, man.
Wow.
But that bottom is often a deep pit. Prosecutors in Mexico are filing charges for femicide, a form of gender-based violence.
The reality is it's a homicide case. And it doesn't change what you investigate. It doesn't change what evidence you need to convict somebody.
Mexican authorities issued an arrest warrant 2 weeks ago for one of the friends. The prosecutor in Mexico speaking to local news.
Responsable de estos hechos a una amiga de ella, que es la agresora en este caso de la agresión directa, porque realmente no fue riña, es una agresión directa que realizó.
But officials aren't releasing any names and no known arrests have been made. Investigators now seeking to extradite the person of interest to face charges in Mexico, which could take a long time.
Wow, which could take a long time. See, this is the problem. It could take a long time, fam. A long time. This is the part that a lot of people ain't gonna like. Is that this process may take a long time, man. Ain't no telling how long this situation gonna be before justice is served.
Mexican warrant is worthless here. No sworn officer or agent has the authority to arrest anybody on a warrant from another country.
You see that? So as much as the United States may want to get involved, they really can't. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing because it happened in Mexico. See, they knew what they were doing. Trust and believe, man. They knew what they were doing by deleting her over there.
So it has to be vetted through probable cause and information that the Mexican authorities provide to convert it to a U.S. warrant strictly for the purpose of arresting a person.
Wow.
ABC News has reached out to the so-called friends who were reportedly in Mexico with Shanquella. They haven't responded to our request for comment.
Wow, they didn't even respond. So much for friends, right? See, this is what I mean, man. You think that everybody that hang around you is your friends, and they not. They not your friends.
The FBI's Charlotte field office is also investigating the case.
What for you does justice look like for Shanquella?
For them to go back to Mexico and do their 20, 30, 40 years, whatever they give them. And they need to pay for what they did to her.
Next month, Shanquella would have been celebrating her 26th birthday.
Her 26th birthday next month. Wow. Right now, she's supposed to be spending time with her family. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into none of the Christmas business. I'm not into that. But if that's what you do, hey, it is what it is. But she should have been here with her mom, you know what I mean? her dad, and instead she's in the grave. That's crazy. And everybody else that put her there, they're outside spending time with their family, having a good time. Think about that.
The holidays now especially tough for her family.
How do you want your daughter to be remembered?
As the person that she was loving, loved people, loved traveling.
Wow.
I hurt, but I also know that God don't make no mistakes. My heart gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt for a while. But you know, I know God gonna give me strength to get through it.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Let me load down this volume because he's just gonna come in there and speak some other stuff. It's crazy. Crazy what they did. But you know, all we can do is keep hope alive by talking about the situation, share some news every now and then. But it's up to the folks in Mexico. You know, they gotta get the ball rolling and bring that justice, man. Because if they don't do that, then Shanquella is not gonna get anything anytime soon, because the process could take a long time. You know, again, her alleged killers are having a good time. They're free. One lived right around where the mom lived. She reached out to them, I guess. Well, I think it was the news media that said they reached out to the friends and or the frenemies, I should say, because they're not friends, and they haven't returned no phone calls. So they don't want to be held accountable. So hey, it is what it is, man. I just thought I'd put this together and, you know, share a news brief update of what's going on. And that's about that. So, you know, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you click the notification bell for all so that you can be notified when I go live. That being said, appreciate everybody joining the stream, you know, rocking with your boy, and it is what it is. Peace to the mods, you know, all the fam in the chat. Justice for Shanquella. Right? So I'm gonna get up on out of here, go take care of some things. I'll be back on later on with another stream. So yeah, again, be careful with a lot of these content creators on YouTube that just go live to talk about nothing, but they have Shanquella name all up in the title, and they're not really giving you anything. They're not breaking things down. They're not giving you any sort of information about what the family's doing, nothing. They just spreading disinformation, and they're doing it to feed off of Shanquella's death. That's all they're doing. They really don't care about no justice or anything. Be very careful with those folks. Based on this live stream, you heard the family. They said no one was arrested. No one. So if no one was arrested, what does that say about all the content creators on YouTube that have been spreading lies that Dejanay Jackson was arrested? What's like, how could you take them serious now? How could you take them serious? You shouldn't, and you should stop supporting people that spread that type of information. So y'all take care. I'll catch y'all later. Ringo TV Reactions. It is what it is. I'm out, y'all. Peace. We out of here.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.